Happy New Year to the TEF family. Hopefully you had a blessed Christmas. I know I did, going to the Christmas Eve candlelight service, and thank you for all of those that were able to go and just spend Christmas Eve together. And also we were very blessed to see the baptisms of the 10 people that were baptized and to hear their testimonies. It's always wonderful to be with the church family during Christmas time. Once in a while I do get a chance to visit my family. Obviously I didn't go this year. I always like to visit my family, and my mom typically cooks up some traditional Korean meal, and it's just wonderful to be with family during this time. Once in a while my parents would want to go out to eat, and there's one particular restaurant my mom especially likes. It's a Chinese restaurant near where she lives. My mom doesn't know how to cook Chinese food, but she likes going to eating Chinese food. And so there's this one restaurant where my parents would always take us, and there's one particular noodle dish that my mom really likes. And my mom just asked the waitress one time, just asked her, like, what's the name of this noodle dish? And the waitress told her. I couldn't hear what the waitress said. And so then later on when my mom came to sit down, I asked my mom, what's the name of this noodle dish? And my mom said, well, the waitress called it Kwang Chi noodles. And so every time we would go to that Chinese restaurant, my mom would always order the same thing. I want these Kwang Chi noodles. And so, but one time that restaurant was closed, and so we went to another Chinese restaurant that was a few more kilometers away. And my mom, when we were ordering, she ordered the Kwang Chi noodles, and at this other Chinese restaurant, they never heard of Kwang Chi noodles. And my mom was like, no, and she looked at there's pictures in the menu, and she goes, no, these are the Kwang Chi noodles. And the waitress looked at her and said, no, those are crunchy noodles. And so this whole time, my mom thought, was misunderstood what this original waitress was telling her. They're not Kwang Chi noodles, they're crunchy noodles. I don't know about you, but it's not always fun to be misunderstood. It's not always fun to be misunderstood, especially when you're studying Scripture. One of the most misunderstood parables that Jesus talks about in the Gospels, the most misunderstood parable is actually probably the most famous one, the story of the Good Samaritan. Many people have heard about this, even non-Christians, even people that have really never even been to church, typically have heard of the Good Samaritan story. Well, you're going to listen to this sermon by Pastor John MacArthur on the parable of the Good Samaritan. And I hope you're really blessed by this. I'd like to just share this message because this is such an important parable, and it's such an important sermon on what is really at the heart of the gospel, of the true gospel of Jesus Christ. And so be blessed as we end this year by listening from this amazing passage by an amazing pastor, John MacArthur, who has influenced me tremendously ever since I became a Christian back in high school. And just share this with other people if you would. Thank you. Have a blessed Sunday.